Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks as they match up with Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they enter play here. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson coming out here, still tracking as an MVP candidate as he brings the Seahawks at 7-2 onto the field, coming off their Week 9 overtime victory against Tampa Bay. And now the touchdown-interception ratio for Russell Wilson this year, Charles, 22-1, because what did he have, 5 touchdown passes in that game?
Including the game winner in overtime. And how about he continues to make a case for MVP? Third in the league in passing yardage. About 100 yards short of the leader, Phillip Rivers. You mentioned that touchdown-to-interception ratio, 22-1. That's ridiculous. And the comeback against Tampa is 31st, the most in the NFL since 2012. I was sitting with some friends while this game was going on and Tampa was up a couple of touchdowns. Everyone said, yeah, Russell's going to get involved and Russell's going to find a way to win it. And he did.
Did you make your buffalo chicken dip with your friend?
Did not make the buffalo chicken dip. In fact, I had a little deep dish pizza served.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 6th touchdown of the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script because so many teams script their opening possessions. And whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Jason Myers set to kick off.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Jimmy Garoppolo leading out the undefeated San Francisco 49ers. And for Garoppolo, 2-year anniversary of the trade that brought him from New England to San Francisco happened on Halloween. That was back in 2017. And a nice little anniversary gift in 2019. Arguably his best game yet. 317 yards against the Arizona Cardinals and a career-high 4 touchdowns, Charles.
And what was beautiful about that, besides the fact he went to 16-2 too, as an NFL starting quarterback. Here's the thing. The one question people kept asking, can San Francisco win if the game is totally in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands? And I think he answered that question against Arizona on Thursday night. Running game wasn't its normal self, right? Defense played well, but not as well as they've been playing. They needed every one of those touchdown passes and every one of those big throws from him. He has to feel much more confident moving forward, as does San Francisco in him.
By the way, list of 49er quarterbacks with 300 or more yards passing, 4+ touchdowns, and no INTs in a regular season game. Steve Young did it 3 times, Jeff Garcia twice, Elvis Grbac, and then you had Joe Montana do it once, and now Jimmy Garoppolo.
That tells you just how difficult it is to do if Joe Montana...
And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And that'll bring up second down.
Here we go.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? But what's the motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem that they have? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Now Garoppolo lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A 52-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. CD, you know there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go. Do it.
Seattle Seahawks 7-2 through 9 weeks of the season. Their offense coming back out here. You know, Charles, this Seattle team looks really good. We talked about Russell Wilson, how good he's been. Where's the weak spot for this Seahawks crew?
Believe it or not, consistent pass rush. And the reason I say believe it or not, when you think of the players who are along that defensive front, it's a surprise because they've gotten Jaron Reed back. He missed the first 6 games of the season. Remember, he was double-digit sacks in 2018 at defensive tackle. They've added Jadeveon Clowney, defensive end, consistently presses for 10 sacks or more in a season. Ziggy Ansah, who when healthy, is a double-digit sack guy. I think as the season moves on, it would not surprise me at all that that pass rush gets ramped up a little bit. And then Seattle will be really difficult to deal with.
Week 10, how about this battle? Playing against the undefeated 49ers. That's going to be a fun one.
That's going to be an absolute blast. And that's a good...
He's got a man complete. It's a big play there for Seattle. 41 yards. That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A little over 20 yards there, and in 2 plays, they've now moved the ball over 60 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Wilson to throw again. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. And he will not be denied. Into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Here we go.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
21.
On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to the end zone real fast.
No room to be had there on the 1st down run as he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Watch the slip.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 41-yard line. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 41. To throw is Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Garoppolo on first down. It's caught by Coleman. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Nice gain of 8 that time, and it's second and goal. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Here's Breida. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. They were held to a field goal on their first drive. They want 6 now, but it's third and goal. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on third down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
A 25-yard attempt.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Week 10 in the NFL coming to a close tonight. Not too early to look ahead to Week 11. We've got Thursday Night Football to get us started. The Dog Pound going to be alive and barking. The first meeting of the year between the Steelers and the Browns. And since the Browns came back to Cleveland, the Steelers are 34-6-1 against their rivals. Browns trying to stem that tide. He lets it fly for Lockett. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. Second down. Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards the pickup there. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Now it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where you see the final score there. 31-10 was the final score. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Carolina Panthers. Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area, see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And they were winners in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. Derek Carr leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go.
Now a loose football. Coleman lost it, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. He lets it fly for Lockett, and that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Wilson now throwing again. It's caught. Lockett. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines.
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. He got 29 yards that time. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Chris Carson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Garoppolo gives to Breida. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Seahawks will take over at their own 20. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. And let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before and realize it hasn't worked so well.
Else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. 2nd and 8 at the 46-yard line.
Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. That'll be complete to Breida. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Here we go.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Throwing on 1st is Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now on 2nd and 13, Garoppolo. 16 yards, a 1st down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards there to Niner 1st. Garoppolo now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. Garoppolo. And he finds his tight end, Salek. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 on the Seahawks 18-yard line.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field.
They run with Breida. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Garoppolo to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds Coleman. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
And it's caught. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
They run again with Carson. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 26 and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Here's Carson. He's still fighting. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Chris Carson, 32 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was all capped off by the Chris Carson touchdown run. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Here we go, here we go, here we go. Like 20. Come on. 2.
From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field.
And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided.
This is Carson, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Gets through, and now an opening. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. So the victory here for Seattle. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to put themselves in position for a 1st-round bye as they move to 8-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, it's their first stumble of the season as they'll dip to 8-1 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.